Okay, how's it going out there? I am back to do another custom request for J Manuel. How's it going, Jay? Um, Me and Jay had a couple of words with each other before I decided to do this, and he commended me on the videos. Thanks for the shout out. Thanks for the feedback. Rather, it helps. So I'm going to get right into it. Right, Jay is a Gemini sun with a Pisces moon, a Pisces ascendant, Mercury in Gemini, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter inside of Leo. So we got a stellium going on in Leo, and there's a Saturn in Aquarius. Okay, so this is what I want to explain right now. I'm going to start with Saturn in Aquarius. All right, we're going to be talking about Aquarius energy right now, and I want to make a highlight out of this, as I told you before in the commentary that I want to highlight some things that need to be said right now. So right now, Aquarius energy is very testy, okay? And I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say even closer, Jay, because you have Saturn in Aquarius, which is the prior ruler of Aquarius. And I did another video touching on this before, how Uranus is really taking over as the modern ruler of Aquarius. And I mean this, I have a lot of Aquarius friends, and from observation and from interaction, I can tell that the rebel within is definitely coming to surface with Aquarian energy, period, right? So with your placement, right, to keep it on you as well, with your placement, Saturn in Aquarius, it's described as self-reliance with restraint. Self-reliance with restraint. Okay, so how do you really become self-reliant when there are restraints put on you? Okay, this is what I want to focus on first. So for yourself, I want you to ask yourself this. If you can, communicate that to me in some feedback, and let me know how you actually experience being dependent on yourself with restraints on you. Like, how can you go about doing so? Like, when the universe or something prevents you from making certain connections, how does that affect you is what I want to know. And the reason why I want to know this is because, as I said, Aquarius energy is very testy right now. And it is because the modern ruler of Uranus must rebel for something and must rebel against something. So in order to part away from their traditional ruler, which is Saturn, which deals with structure, they're going to have to break a structure or set out to rebel against a structure in order to defend another structure. And in order to do so, like from an observational aspect, I can see how they somewhat are negatively impacted by the behavior that they exude, only because though they're utilizing their sun energy, which is their likes, their dislikes, which is their leisure time, which is their fun, more than they are utilizing their restraint level, which you have Saturn in, Aquarius, and Saturn in Aquarius, which is dealing parallelly with what I'm talking about right now, right? So what happens here is, I want to stress this point about the Aquarian energy, and then I'm going to dip into the other things and explain why your placements are just a great reason to bring this stuff up. In order to leave a structure, right, you have to be fed up with something. You have to say, okay, I don't want to be here because, and most what I'm seeing from an observational aspect with Aquarian energy is they're fed up with the structure. They don't truly enjoy it. So they're stuck somewhere where they don't really want to be. And what's happening is, it seems like to their friends and their close ones that they're rebelling against whatever, because there's always something in the air, right? Now, I do know an Aquarius that is actually very aware of what's going on, very aware of their surroundings, very conscious and health conscious and all of these types of things. However, you can see the flip side to it. They're not as friendly as the most average Aquarius is. They are very, when they say aloof about Aquarius, they are very aloof. They are very distant. You know what I mean? But they do communicate their likes and their dislikes. So they do show their sun energy, but for the most part, they have restraints. They have some type of control. They understand their limits with their life more, and that stands out uniquely to me more than it does with the other Aquarius that I deal with, right? So back to Aquarian energy, as I said, In order to break a structure, what they're doing is they're not fully rebelling. If you're going to rebel, then rebel. Say, I don't want to do this anymore. And it has to deal with factions, institutions, of course, right? Because all of us have to do a daily routine or daily job in order to obtain the things that we need in life, right? So an example would be an Aquarius wanting to rebel against their job, but staying at the job. So what they do in consequence to that is they get their paycheck and they spend it on leisure, right? They go out there and they may do it excessively. They may do it to the point where it's dangerous, in fact, right? So I say that to say this. For Aquarian energy, in today's times right now, what they need to do is, for all Aquariuses that are listening and you got planetary placements inside of the sign of Aquarius, right? And you're dealing with the planets that deal with Aquarius. What I'm telling you right now is, when you rebel. Stop playing around, because you're affecting your loved ones in a way that they're concerned about you, okay? And no one wants to be concerned and worried about someone that we know to be able to take care of themselves. So this is my advice. I have to give a solution. I'm not just going to bring up the problem. Find out where you are going to rebel for. Get into that line of work and make sure there's something that you like to do. Use astrology. Look at your chart. Find out what it is that you're born to do and do that. Don't just take stuff because it pays you money. Because you might tell your friends and your loved ones how much it bothers you. However, are you telling the boss that? And if you've ever done it in the past, reflect on when you've done that and how it felt, how liberating it felt, and what you did after that, and where you smiled again, where you bounced back and became whole again because you were doing something that you truly enjoyed. All right? So I wanted to make that point rather quickly, Jay, right? So thank you for letting me use that placement in your chart. And as I said before, get back to me about the whole placement of Saturn being in Aquarius and how this affects you. And I want to talk about Uranus, but I want to get back to the rest of the placements of your chart first, right? You have a Pisces moon and a Pisces ascendant, which I think is very unique right now. I've just got a chart that has a Pisces ascendant. I'm going to start studying it as soon as I get some me time that I could like really isolate and get into it, because I really want to see how a Pisces ascendant views things for me being a Pisces sun. And as you said in the comments, that a lot of things that I say you relate with it. I think that's great. So the reason why I say that is because, I filter things differently though. I really execute more as a Virgo would. I have a Virgo ascendant. I know what's deep inside of here though, which is all my Pisces and stuff. Still, I'm very Virgo-like. I can be very Virgo-like. So it would be interesting to know how you see things and what actually is relatable about this. Well, you said everything that I say, so that's a good start. You know what I mean? It's a good start that a Pisces eyes can see a Pisces soul. I want to make that connection. Now you have Pisces moon as well. Now I know Pisces moon to be like the type of, or could be the type of preachy type. So when they see something that they want to like get involved with, or maybe even stand up for and like change something in the world, like dealing with environment or something like that, then they will stand up and they'll go attack that. They'll go address that. So possibly you do have these types of mindsets about yourself, these qualities about yourself, that you may be an activist of some sort. I don't know. You may be into energy or something like that, right? Because you have a Pisces moon. But you're a Gemini sun. And I think this is great because Gemini is stepping up right now. A lot of people talk a lot of stuff about Gemini, but let me tell you something, right? The Gemini on the spot, let's address this issue, let's get it done, let's get it out of the way so I can move on, so we can move on and better ourselves. Like, that's really the attitude that is full of energy right now. That's really going to make moves and get things done, because why talk about the past? Why think about the past and everything? Like, we know what happened back then, right? And however it resonates with you, if you want to wallow in those things, you get away from me, is what Gemini is about. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, what are we doing right now? Let's do it. Is it fun? Okay, let's do it. Is it cool? Let's do it. Is it productive even? Besides what they say about the Gemini two-face and all of that, I'm talking about Geminis who know what they want. All right? And most of the time, most Geminis will tell you exactly what they want. It's really not as complicated as people make it out to be. So the reason why I'm stressing your Gemini sun right now is because you have the ability to communicate, right? Communication rules, Gemini rules the communication aspect. So you have the ability to communicate in short spurts to groups of people and consolidate. That's what Gemini does. Grabs the ideas from over here, over here, over here, even if it's from different people, they consolidate it in one, even if it looks like it's their idea or their plan. So what? Big deal, as long as we get it done, right? That's how we move forward, because I'm really involved with the whole, we're pretty much in the future stuff. All the stuff that we've seen in the movies and the sci-fi stuff and like all of that. Like, for some of us, that's actually happening. For others, it's Flintstone era, and that's kind of like complicating interaction and communication as a whole right now. So I say that to say this, because you have so much Pisces planetary placements, you can communicate this to where it becomes a truth. You can communicate this to where it becomes a true change to the environment when you speak to people. You could probably do it better than I could, because my Mercury falls inside of Pisces Sun, So for me, I like kind of communicate these things through higher education, through the arts, communicative arts and stuff like that, or just film, fashion and stuff like that, like expressive that way, you know what I mean? But if it's like a speaker type thing, like I'm better at doing it this way. You understand what I'm talking about? Or it's like, in order to put the plan of action together, I struggle there sometimes, right? So what I'm saying is that Gemini energy that you possess to handle things spot on, I think people really should start tapping into that vein and moving on that. But talk is one thing and action is another, right? So let's get into your whole Leo Stellium thing going on. I think you have a great opportunity to communicate, period, because you have Venus and you have Jupiter inside of Leo. So whatever you're being recognized for, whatever you shine bright with, is also going to behoove you financially, because to have both of them there, that's got to say something, That's got to say something. And let me make sure that I got this correctly. I think, did you say that your Mercury was also there inside of that house as well? Let me double check. This is kind of, just give me a minute here. I'm not too far. Okay, Venus is there. Mars is there, pardon me. Not Mercury, but Mars is there. So, yeah, you got Mars there. You can, at least you can know that you can be a leader in this aspect. Whatever it is that you choose to speak about, you have the potential to be a leader there. You might be fiery, so you may have to tone it down a bit, but when it comes to Aquarius being inside of, when it comes to Saturn being inside of Aquarius, that is where you will be able to use that type of restraint depending on how it affects you. That's why I said I want to know how that affects you, right? So now to finish this off, right? I want to bring Uranus into the game, because Uranus is the planet that now rules Aquarius. I am pretty sure about this, right? But Aquarius energy has to leave one structure and embody another one. So if they're not doing it for themselves as singular entities, which Uranus really can represent as well, individuality, that eccentric thing that says, I'm going to stand out, I'm going to be this, they have to, some Aquarian energy, they want to run back to the wild. Like, they want to be in the dark ages, it seems like. And I think that they need to understand that if you're going to leave a corporate structure, you need to embody another one. Because some things of this world is, as much as things change, some things are going to remain the same. You understand? So, people, this is for the viewers now who are watching. Track where your Uranus is, track where it's at, and understand what you rebel for, because whatever house it's in, that's what you're going to rebel for. Whatever sign it's in, find out where it's at